Hi everybody, this is Matt. Thanks for watching and welcome back. A viewer asked, Matt, I see a lot on your channel where you talk about concealed carry, but I don't really see much in the way of holsters. So could you show me a little bit about what you have and what you use, that sort of thing? Well, yeah, I basically dug up some holsters. I didn't dig up all of them, but let's just go over them and I'll show you what I got. This is just kind of a sample. Now, this holster, rather old. This is something that I use when I go ahead and I take a pistol out hunting, for example. Just a very simple holster with a loop for a belt and a very basic retention strap. That works just fine. Let me just stack them over there. Now, when it comes to carrying a Glock, here's an actual Glock Mag. Now, I have not modified this at all because sometimes I will wear a dress belt, and this right here fits perfectly with the dress belt. This is a very inexpensive holster. It's made by Glock, and actually it does the job, does it well. I have no complaints about it whatsoever. So I have used this. Oh, what else do I have here on the table? Well, here's an oldie but a goodie. This is a Gould and Goodrich. You can tell that this has been worn a lot. Leather holster, basically has 3 cutouts on it. This is outside the waistband, conforms to the body well. The retention mechanism is basically just a snap, and you can tell that I have used that a lot. And something that was featured recently on the channel is this Galco ankle holster. So this does get used. This holds my Glock 26. Somebody had made a comment on the channel that they didn't particularly care for ankle holsters. They felt that they were uncomfortable. And generally speaking, especially with the cheap ones, I would agree with that. With the Galcos, I don't really have an issue with it, especially since generally I just have like a Glock 26. If I had something larger like a Glock 19, it might be a little bit more cumbersome, but I've had no issues with this. This gets worn and used a lot for backup. I have a couple of other Galco holsters here. Now they'll look very, very similar. They're outside the waistband, they're leather, they're open topped. One is for Glock and one is for Sig Sauer. So as you can see, you begin to accumulate holsters at a rapid pace, and they don't give them away for free. And that's why I'm a firm advocate of not changing the brands of guns very quickly, because you're going to go through holsters and find what works for one type of application versus another. And these do get used quite often. I even have this. Now, a lot of you are going to look at it, you're going to go, hey, that's a Serpa, but something looks a little bit wrong with it. Well, yes, it is a Serpa holster. What I've done is I have taken this locking mechanism off because it just didn't really do the job for me. And as many of you know, you have to depress this when you go ahead and draw. And if this gets filled full of junk, sometimes I found that it's kind of hard to work. Now, I did adjust the tension on it, so it'll hold this Glock 19, no problem. And so that Serpa does get used, and this is in like a quasi paddle type of configuration. I've shown you this outside the waistband for the Sig Sauer P229, and it has the combination of kydex and leather, which makes it a hybrid holster. I really like this. Good retention, good holster. And here's another little favorite of mine. This is an inside the waistband holster for Glock from Galco. Works just like that, has a little bit of a forward cant to it, and this does a very, very fine job. So in a nutshell, these are holsters that I have. These are holsters that I use. It is just dependent upon the application. So if I want inside the waistband, it generally tends to be this Galco right here. Outside the waistband, typically another Galco in leather. And if I am on the range or something like that, this one right here for the SIG, and I've got one coming for the Galco as well. So that's a review. And unfortunately, when you go to a gun shop, the holsters are in packaging, and a lot of times they don't let you play with them. But a lot of local gun shops tend to have what they call bargain bins, where people have actually traded in a holster with a firearm, and you can get a chance to get a little bit of hands-on with them right there. Try them, see if you like them, because no holster really fits all. No holster is the end-all, be-all, do-all, and everybody has individual tastes. Everybody's body is different. The body structure is differently, and the type of frame you have, the type of belly you might have or don't have is going to influence how you carry. So I hope that this helps, and until next time, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and be safe out there and have a good one.